You got a lot of background noise, man.
All right, Logan, what's up?
So we live?
I think we're live.
I don't even know when you were hitting the live button. It's just when it got like super quiet there, and I was like, oh. I was like, is he here?
Yeah, my background like went nuts.
I know, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, the background was like pretty...
Yeah, I was like, let me mute, and I had to put something in the microwave right quick.
What are you making? What are you making?
Dude, it's unhealthy. I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I remember I told you before the podcast, I was like, I gotta run and go get a coffee, dude.
Yeah,
because I almost forgot. So I got me an apple fritter, and I like to warm them up.
Said almost forgot. We're 45 some minutes late.
Yeah.
A two-man show over here.
A two-man show. I gotta ask you a personal question.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you ever dealt or ever experienced a hernia?
No.
Shit.
Not that I can recall.
Right.
I feel like it's something that I don't want to go through, and I'm pretty sure it's probably painful, isn't it?
Well, I'm dealing with that right now, right?
Oh, damn.
No, the problem is I've had it for like years. I just I've been afraid to get something done about it because I don't want to, go through like surgery. But from what I found out, it's like I'm better off getting like obviously this planned schedule surgery versus then an emergency surgery. So yeah, and I'm like, and so now every time I feel something like in the area where it feels there, like right now I'm not in pain, I'm just in discomfort. And I'm like panicking, and I'm like, I got to call. Like I had to wait Monday morning, call. I'm like, hey, give me the earliest freaking appointment like possible, because I was like, I don't want to my thing is I don't want to have to go into an emergency surgery, and I don't want it to get to a point where I'm going to be in pain. And it's just like, I don't know how many people have dealt with them, but I don't know, I just get like a little bit concerned about it. But
then when you got that scheduled, do you got like a date time?
Dude, like at this point, when I give them a call, the doctor's office, I'm going to give me the earliest date possible. Like if I can get this shit done in the next couple of weeks, next couple of days, I do it. Because at least from what I know of like hernias, when you get it like surgically repaired, the recovery time isn't bad. And I don't work like a job where I'm lifting shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's the only thing you really can't do is lift and stuff after it's done. So I mean, I have an office job, so I was like, that's not a problem. So I don't have to worry about really missing time off work. It's just more so going under the knife and whatnot. I haven't been under the knife since like 2018, not 2018, 2008.
Yeah.
So, but now it's like,
That whole like what getting like the anesthesia stuff and like that.
yeah.
I've only had that once in my life so far. So.
So there's just a bit of
But,
a concern there.
but yeah, I think it'd be good to like get it done. You know, if you got it done now here in the winter,
Yeah, right.
because you know there's like it's not like you got to worry about going out like having fun or anything. It's wintertime. Most people, at least in the winter, stay inside. At least I know I do. I kind of go.
Yeah. I try not to hibernate, right?
Oh damn! Well, I hope that all goes well for you. You have to keep us in the loop.
Yeah, man, definitely. All right, so I saw on. I mean, we had we missed last week. Last week was like Thanksgiving break. So, but
Yeah,
I saw.
There was a lot of I mean, all of us were doing Thanksgiving stuff, especially like I couldn't make it for sure because I have like my parents' Thanksgivings on Thursday, and then my wife has her mom does her Thanksgiving on Saturday. So it's like two back-to-back like weddings basically with Black Friday in between, and yeah, it was just busy. Like I had a 4-day weekend, but I feel like I didn't have a 4-day weekend. Like with traveling and going back and forth and running around, it surely didn't feel like I got to like rest and spend time with family. We just run around because like my wife's family, they live like 3 hours away. So every time we go there, it's a little bit of a journey. Especially 3 hour drive there, 3 hour drive back.
Like when you do like a drive like that, is this something you're doing like first thing in the morning? Like, how do you plan for that?
We usually like leave like 8 o'clock in the morning and then get there like around like 11 or so, and then they had like they do like a lunch and a dinner thing.
Yeah.
So like we had lunch and everybody sits down, we play like cards, or they had like Mario Kart being played, like we had like a Switch and stuff, and then we'd like do that till like 5-6 o'clock, and then have dinner, and then then usually after dinner everybody kind of goes home.
Okay, I saw you had some Black Friday pickups. You picked up a lot of games, dude.
Bro. Yeah, I picked up a lot. I was like everything that came out that I didn't want to pay, $70 day one price, I picked up for like 20 or 30 bucks. And I feel like I'm set. Like I feel like I am pretty much set with games till I think March is really, well, I guess I got a game a month coming from January to February to March. So I'm still going to have stuff coming out on top of already what I picked up. But it's just, add more stuff to the backlog, right? It never ends. Just always goes on.
So what do you what game?
Go ahead.
No, what game you've been focusing on? Like, what do you like? What is like kind of like the primary games you've been playing at this moment?
Well, at this moment, so obviously I finished up God of War because I think it's been a while since we talked about God of War. So finished up God of War, put like 50 hours into that game, got the platinum in it, absolutely loved it. It was everything I could have wanted in a God of War game and more. But after that, I got a review code for Evil West.
Nice.
So I've been digging into that because I got to put out a review by the middle of next week, which we got the code late for level 1.
Yeah.
We got a code late. And then of course we got the code like right before Thanksgiving break. So like by the time I got that like installed, like I was already, like I got the code on a Wednesday. We got the code to Wednesday, which is the day after the game came out, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then like Thanksgiving, and Friday, then Black Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, and then right back to work. I was like, damn man, so I gotta get this review out here. But I was just playing it before we started the podcast. I'm at the end of it. I'm at the last level.
I've heard things. All right, so obviously I know you're gonna be putting out a review. I'm not gonna ask you to deliver your score, but like just based off obviously other impressions and videos and feedback has been out there. I haven't bought Evil West. It is on my radar. I do want to play it, but I decided obviously to hold off. I'm not in any rush. But a lot of people complained about level design, boss fight design, certain mechanics, like budget starting the show. Obviously, I wasn't a fan of the whole performance and quality mode split. They just seem too drastic. And if you can comment on some of the stuff like that, I guess, that we've heard during like people's previews, and then obviously considering the performance and whatnot.
So I've been playing the game in performance mode, which performance mode and I'm playing on the Series X too, right? So on the Series X, it's at 1080, 60. It's locked, and it's locked at that resolution and frame rate.
Yeah.
The game runs smooth at 60. I haven't really seen like too noticeable dips below that 60 mark, but at the same time, that resolution kind of kills me a little bit because I can't really tell if like the textures are just outdated or bad, or if it's because like the resolution's so low on it, right? Like the fact that it's the 1080p, resolution. That's the one thing I kind of struggle with is like, are these textures really this bad looking, or is it just because of the resolution? Now, part of it does feel like the way the game looks. There's some parts where I'm like, oh wow, this game looks actually really good. The scenery and stuff is really nice on it, but then there's a lot of areas in that game where I'm like, this is just fucking ugly. Like, I was like, this is like an ugly, like, ass, like, the best way I could probably describe it is like, it looks like a 360 or PS3.
No.
In a lot of like cases and stuff.
Wow.
Like you texture, like a lot of textures look like muddy, I think is like the best way that I can describe
question
it.
For you, have you toggled the resolution mode in performance mode at any point just to see like, all right, how much am I giving up to get 60, or like?
I haven't, just because I know at 30, at 30 frames, like I'm just not going to want to play it because it's very hard for me to go back, especially like this game's kind of like, has like fast paced combat.
Yeah.
So like being at that 30 frames would probably feel really, really sluggish. I mean, I can always go and kind of like, I can toggle it on whenever, right? It's not that I can't do it. It's just I haven't. I've been sticking to the 60 FPS 1080 mode. But I don't think it is the resolution. Like, I just think it's the way that the textures are put on, the environments and the enemies and stuff. Because like the enemies, and it's the one thing that kind of threw me back was I felt like we were kind of like misled from the gameplay that they showed of it. Like the one time that they like debuted the gameplay, it looked like this like Western like shootout, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not that at all. It is a mostly beat 'em up style game.
Gotcha.
It is mostly hand to hand combat, and you use like your side pistol and your rifle, for like a little bit like long range attacks while the enemies start coming into you, till you can do like the hand to hand combat on it. So like I was kind of upset about that a little bit. I was like, man, I was kind of, I don't know if I was expecting like some type of like gun shootouts, right? Because the whole premise is you're, cowboy in the Western fighting, vampires, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's very little vampires in this game. And that's what I thought was going to be like, these like cool, like epic, like shootouts with them. And then it ended up just being me for the most part, hand to hand combat, like a weird leech filled enemies. And I was like, oh.
I mean, I hear their combat and everything is heavily inspired by God of War. Is that fair? Is this like,
dude? So I don't know if you saw one of the tweets I made, but I did actually make a tweet where I did show like a bunch of gameplay like from it.
Yeah.
And I said I am the God of War because the combat, especially like coming off of just playing God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Right? Like just playing God of War Ragnarok, I was like, dude, like what the hell is? They took that template. Now you have your like rifle and pistol, which changes that stuff up. But like even when you're like Kratos and you go around and you find like the chests and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like there's those type of chests. There's different two types of chests. There's like your money chest where he like smashes it down in the middle and pulls up and like the gold comes flying out of it. Kind of like if you remember like what Kratos would do when he would, smash on stuff and then the money would come out of it. And then there was like the upgrade chests, which are a little bit bigger. And then, he would kind of like pull those up and yank them up, kind of like how Kratos does. and then here comes like a big flow of money to them. So yeah, the combat in like just like when you're like looting and finding stuff is definitely heavily inspired by God of War. I was coming right off of God of War. I was just like, oh, I see what they're kind of doing. But Evil West is a lot more linear in its level design.
Yeah.
So it's not like God of War where like you have like these big open, levels. Yeah, you'll have like a linear story if you follow that, but you can, go back to different environments and explore. You can't do that in Evil West. It's very much a very, very linear style game.
Yeah.
So you go from point A to point B, and you'll shimmy through things, right? Like that was the big thing everybody gave God of War gripe for, was shimmying through canyons and stuff like that. Well, you get plenty of that in Evil West. You get plenty of that, and you get plenty of shimmying across like cliff sides and stuff like that. So it's interesting. I don't know if it's interesting because like it's at a AAA budget game price.
Mm-hmm.
It's $60, but it definitely doesn't feel like
it's like one of those things you walk into like Walmart and you see this game and you look at the back of it. I don't know if you had these moments where you would go, like your parents would bring you to the store, right? And you go into like your game section or toy section, and then you go and you pick up like, wow, this cover looks cool. And you look at the back and you see sort of the screenshots, and then you get it. It's like, but it's usually those games. It would be the typical like your $39.99 type game, right? It's like one of those. Oh, okay, this was good, right? But it's probably not going to make too much noise. But I have a ton of those experiences during the PS2 era. So that's the thing, though. It's like the game is like, obviously I got a lot of love for like Focus Home Interactive. I think they publish some great games. I think Evil West is very much a AA like game, but masquerading as a AAA, right? I mean, with the price.
100%. I would feel like a little bit more of an appropriate price for this would have been like that $40 range.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like, I've been very like conservative with my like spending and whatnot, and so like I haven't really been doing like obviously games like Day One and Logan, dude. You heard me like talk about like, oh man, I want to try this game, Steelrising. Like, the game's been out since I think September, right? And I've been saying it came out. I didn't buy it. I was like, I'm gonna wait, whatever. And then I finally did it, and I'm excited because I got it on that Black Friday deal. But so Evil West is it's like I have my eye on it. I have my eye on Gungrave. I tried that. That was on Game Pass. I immediately dropped it. I'm not sure if you was able to give Gungrave a try.
I haven't yet. Just because I've just had a back release,
mm-hmm.
and then with like my focus, like when God of War came out, I didn't touch anything.
Yeah,
like I was like I played God of War, like I had to get my Call of Duty legs back in after I.
Dude, I actually so a question when it comes to Call of Duty, are you playing Warzone or are you playing Modern Warfare? Like as far as multiplayer wise right now,
I'm playing both. So
okay,
yeah, I'll toggle between like depends on who's online. Like if I don't have, because I've been playing with a lot of people like in the Twitter gaming streets, and we've been having a lot of fun playing Warzone and multiplayer, but it just depends on if people are online or not. If they're not, I'm usually like multiplayer, or if my wife wants to just play that, and then I'll toggle playing Warzone as well. So I've been juggling both.
Yeah, so I got to play over the Thanksgiving break. I did play a little bit of the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer with my cousin and my uncle. I was able to hold my own. I was actually surprised, but I had probably maybe one bad game, but I was like, oh, I'm actually decent at Call. I'm not good. Like I won't like put myself up there with you and Dope Boy as far as where you're getting all these streaks. You know what I mean? I'll hold my own enough to like go for every 2 kills I'll die once, right? So that's the best I can do, but it's good enough. Like, you know what I mean? I can only get like no more than 3 kills streak before, getting down. But like I said, I'm definitely down to play. And I was like, it opened myself up. Now, question, dude, is the achievements in Modern Warfare only limited to campaign?
Yeah.
Okay. That was different.
Yeah, they've been doing that pretty much quite often. I think there is some that's tied to like co-op missions, right? I think there's I think there's 3 co-op missions you can do. I think those have achievements tied to
Is
them
that
as well.
separate from the actual base campaign?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like their own separate missions that you can do.
Okay.
And then when you do those missions, those unlock different operators too that you can use in multiplayer.
Okay, all right. I'm definitely gonna dive in. Like I started the campaign. I just didn't like have the drive to like kind of like dive deep into it. So I'm probably either today or tomorrow try it. I also didn't finish God of War. All right. So God of War, right? I'd be like, and I know how everybody feels, so I'm trying not to get like anyone, upset with like how I feel about God of War, right? So like I don't have any issues with the game, but I find myself getting bored a lot. So I keep putting it down.
You get bored?
Yeah, I keep putting it down. Like the thing is, I see myself the game. I think the game is good. The thing is that like when I'm playing it, I like being in action in the combat. You know what I mean? God of War has like this combat style that is just very addicting. But I think my issue with the game is that it's far beyond. I don't like the in between, right? Of going like, okay, we go to a new area, we search the area out, we do this traversing and stuff like that, do our little puzzles, whatever, and then we get to the combat. It's like, I feel like it's a drag to get to really what I really want to get to. And the thing is that like right now I'm not in the mood, right? Let's say to platinum the game for say, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I get, and when you give me like a open area game where it offers a lot of exploring, I start to entertain like, all right, maybe I can just platinum things. Let me get all the collectibles. Let me get all the things. And I start to do it. And then I feel like, damn, I wasted a bunch of time just doing like nothing. So when I should get myself back on track to like, all right, I'm going to play the game and the story, I get because I wasted so much time like really just exploring and trying to check every nook and cranny. Like now I got to utilize the time that it takes to get to the actual point I actually want to get to. So it's just like, I don't know, like I got to, where did I get? The last thing I remember doing is meeting that little rabbit thingy.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. I can never pronounce the name.
Yeah, and then I went to this place where you get the little dogs that's on a sleigh, and and then I went to this.
That's Midgard. That was like a big main area in the first one.
Yeah, so I cleared that space out, and I guess it's essentially because it was at the end of the mission that you got access to that point, and Kratos, they give you talking cues. It's like, all right, we don't have to rush back. Because I think I went to rush. Now I was going back to meet with what's that giant name that we just freed? Tyr. Is that his name? Tyr? Tyr?
From the prison.
Yeah, because I guess he got upset, like, and he like left after we escaped this area. Yeah. So after that mission, I went into that area with the sleigh. Did the little got whatever the collectibles, and I went back, and then I haven't really gone back since. And the reason is, it's like, it's not that I haven't been gaming. My gaming, like I said, has been gone to like a casual level. But like I said, I've been playing a lot of Steelrising, which I just beat. I actually started a New Game Plus, but I don't see myself going through it. A New Game Plus immediately. Like I said, good game. Recommend it for anyone who's interested in like Soulsborne game. Probably the best game, the best type game that we got that delivers a whole package: story, gameplay, performance, graphics. I know From Software, they're the pioneers of this type of stuff, but From Software, their games typically have like performance issues, and you got to rely on lore to get the story. Where this was like one of those games where there's like a full-blown understandable story, fully voiced, like in decisions that impact the game, right? And it's like, okay, and the game is completely overrated, but not overrated, underrated. But yeah, it was my best Black Friday pickup. And I started Solstice, but I'm kind of stuck on this mission. I don't know if anybody tried that game. Now it's like a Devil May Cry sort of like clone. on a like Devil May Cry on a budget. I think not just regular Devil May Cry, like DMC Devil May Cry,
like the original Devil May Cry.
Yeah. So but yeah, so God of War, like I said, I'm not. If I was to give you a like, I don't know, Logan, if you follow the videos I do every year around like at the end of the year, I give my either top 5 or top 10 games list on for the calendar year. God of War, whether I beat it or not before the end of the year, it would like definitely be there. I get why people like it. I'm not gonna say I don't. I like the game. I enjoy it. I like the game for what it does. It's great, but me personally, in my taste, right? I'm not a fan of the whole like the slowdown and like I'm pretty much being. I don't like I don't like the pace of the game, and in the first game I didn't mind because it was such a obviously it was such a drastic difference, right, from the original series, right? So it was like, okay, you see what's going on, you see how they did. I was like, all right, they did a good job with this, whatever. I thought God of War 2018 was pretty good. I think Ragnarok is pretty much the same, but I feel like it's just dragging on. And according, based on what you guys done, and every time I give you guys an update, I haven't even scratched the surface of what's to come.
Very, very
yeah. So I don't know. I'll probably I don't know. At some point, I probably beat it during my Christmas break when I'm actually like, okay, I got literally nothing to worry about for work wise, and I'll just play it. But it's just other games have been gaining my attention that I want to play. Like for example, I do want to play Evil West, but I'm not like I'm just happy I haven't been like allowing myself to get like pretty much FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Right, I have it. I like this is probably the biggest growth that I've seen in myself in terms of like video games. Like I told you I have Callisto Protocol. I didn't buy it. I didn't realize the Addict had. I think he bought it. He bought that game in Midnight Sun, and we game share. So I was like, all right, I downloaded it.
Instantly had it.
Yeah. So I was like, he hit me up. He was like, oh yeah, we got this game. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, I had no intentions on buying Callisto Protocol. The only thing that interests, and you're going to find this funny, right? The only thing that, the reason why I remotely wanted to play it, can you guess the reason why?
Because I have no idea. It's going to be some dumb reason why.
The game is 8 hours long.
Oh.
That's perfect.
I heard reports that it was like 8 to 14 hours. And like, that's like a thing. Like that shit don't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people throw that as like why would I like me? I bought Callisto, right?
Yep.
$70.
Yep.
Paid for it. I have no problem if that game is only 8 hours. To be 100% honest with you,
yeah,
I have no problem. I guess I don't know if it's just something with like I don't know, with me getting older, right?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with your games, but yeah.
There's certain games, obviously, because like, all right, I say, right, 8 hours, I have no problem with that. When I just talk about that, God of War. But the thing is, like, God of War it's been one of my all-time favorite franchises in general, right? I spent 60 hours in 2018. I spent probably 50. I think it was like 52 hours, I want to say, in Ragnarok, and went and did everything. But that game's world and everything felt worth my time to play, right? Like, I didn't feel like in God of War that anything that I did in that game was a waste. Like,
gotcha.
All the side missions and stuff, and the exploration, and the collectibles, and like everything felt fun to do, and didn't feel like a waste of my time. Because like I look at a game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yep.
I bought that game day one. I have 30 hours in that game, and I feel like I 20 plus to go. and that game's never going to end. But the thing is, in that 30 hours, I feel like I haven't like achieved anything.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I feel like there's just so many fluff fucking missions in that game, and this is just not even like I'm using Assassin's Creed Valhalla as an example. But this is like a lot of games that are like touting that like 100 plus, 200 plus hour games. A lot of that shit, I just don't like. It's just fluff. You don't feel rewarded for doing this stuff. You don't feel good out of it, and it's never like the story beats are like good enough to like warrant that time. And so when I look at the game, it's like, hey, this is like, 8 to 12 to like 14 hours. I'm like, dude, that sounds good. As long as that's a quality 8 to 14 hours, I'd rather have that than 100 hours of a game that's just nothing. That's just always been me. And the thing is, if you build a good enough world that keeps me pulled into you, like I'll like Yakuza's another game.
Yeah, you went hard on that one.
Yeah, like I still gotta, because like I stopped playing it when everything started to come out here in the fall. So but I just got to a point where in that game, I think I'm on chapter 12, and I'm at like a really grindy area. You gotta grind your character up to like beat these, like the boss at the very end of chapter 12. But like that game right there, that's another game I have like 55 hours in it, but every single one of those hours felt like rewarding to do. Like I like the mini games, the side missions, the characters, the exploration, everything felt rewarding to do, where there's just a lot of games out there. And so when people shit on a game for being like 8 to 14 hours, I'm like, dude, as long as that is like good content filled, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you right there. Somebody asked me about like, oh, how's Persona? Oh my god, I haven't picked Persona back up. When's the Persona 4 coming out? Is it January or is it like?
I think it's sometime next year. I think those are 2023. I don't.
Yeah, but I thought is it that's what I was afraid. It's like, all right, how early is it? Because I like at this point, like the Christmas thing. It's like I feel like it's possible for me to do it before Christmas to get through Persona. It's definitely possible because the game really isn't difficult. It's just the gameplay loop. It's long.
Yeah,
it's a long gameplay loop, and it's like, but once I'm in. Like, I'll continue. I can continue to play it. Once I'm in, it's just that I had to take like I was doing like I feel like I got like how many hours I got into the game. I think I got like maybe I think I have approximately 30 hours in the game, and I feel like that 30 hours was done in maybe a matter of a week's time because I was only playing Persona like 5 at that point. So it's like, and then once games really started to that was coming out that I had like any remote interest in, I was like, all right, this is going to be like, a problem. And believe it or not, and I haven't even gone back to freaking the Plague's Tale Requiem yet. And I think I did the first chapter of Plague's Tale, then everything else came out. Yeah. And that's just sitting in my bag. Like, yeah, I did 2 chapters of that game, and I'm like, at some point I'd like to go back to it, but and it's not even like a thing that I don't like. Just there's just so much that like I need more time in a day. Like, is there a way that we can do that? Like, put on all these damn great games here, and I don't have the time to play. Yeah, this is what happens about game releases, right? They freaking put out nothing for like throughout the whole summer or anything, right? And then put everything out in October and November. It was like, dude, you could have put some of these games out. It's like, come on, like. And that's the thing, like I know like COVID and all this other stuff, but it's like what developers need to like do is just like not every game has to come out in October and November. If you want people to complete your games and experience your game, you gotta spread those bad boys out. They'll put them out where nothing else is out, like at least nothing else that's remotely interesting. If you feel like you have the most interesting release that's coming out, or one of the most interesting releases coming out within like that year, you put it out where you think there's nothing else that's remotely that much interesting, and then I think that would be much helpful. I think for smaller games they definitely should be doing that. Yeah, especially like Evil West coming out in the time that it did. Yeah, Evil West is a certified August game. The game should not have come out in November. Like, what the hell are you guys doing over there? Why are you releasing in the fall? Like, you're gonna be competing with like the. And the Callisto Protocol, obviously we all know that came out because it had to come out before Dead Space remake. Like, yeah. No, I think Callisto though was like is fair. I think that kind of came out in a fair timeline because I don't think it's like from what I've seen from what I've played of Callisto, dude. That game's fucking great. Like, yeah, dude, the game looks great. Like I couldn't believe like how good this fucking third party game looks. Because like that's the thing, is like always like third party games never look like as good as like a first party. Yeah.
this shit looks fucking phenomenal for a third party.
So now my only thing I'm concerned about, like I said, now I don't know if you started the game already, right?
Yeah, I got like 2-3 hours I think in it last night.
You have to dodge with the thumbstick. How does that work? It's just not manifesting right in my head trying to dodge with the analog stick.
It's just like it's honestly like it's pretty easy for me. You just look at where the enemy is going to swing at, like go into the opposite direction. So if they're going to swing to the left, you dodge to the right, and you just kind of move your stick. I don't know. Like I kind of picked up on it pretty quick. That's the one thing I heard is like from some people is like they said is like you're either going to really pick and you're going to love it, or you're going to struggle with it and you're going to hate it. But for like me, like I picked up on it quick. Now, mind you, there is some time where I'm like missing my dodges and stuff. And dude, all it takes is one enemy in that game, just fucking to take you from full health to death in a second. I was like, damn, dude. Like, they don't mess around.
I was watching Addict play, and I saw like this one dude like slapped him into oblivion. And it was like the first hit that the thing got on him, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, dude. Like, it's not like they don't mess around that game.
Are you playing on? I know there's like 3 difficulty levels available in the base game, right?
Yeah, I'm just on the medium.
Is there achievements based off difficulty?
Yeah, there's a maximum. It's like the hardest difficulty is called maximum security.
Mm-hmm.
There is an achievement for beating it on maximum security.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna start again, but my thing is that I don't want to play until they patch it for Xbox.
I'm putting on PS5 and that shit running good. That shit looks hella good, dude. I will say so because I am playing 5, and it is the best third party implementation of the DualSense I think I've come across. Like I was actually because like most the DualSense or whatever like PlayStation does. Usually only like the exclusive games or the first party games are like the ones that actually like really utilize it. And for this, for I about said Dead Space, but for Callisto Protocol, dude, they actually did like a really good job with the DualSense. Like I was passing off because my wife was, and I was passing the controller to her like so that she could like feel what what the different feedbacks and stuff you can get from the controller. And I was like, damn, they did a good job for like a third party developer.
Yeah. I feel like rumor has it that they developed it for the PlayStation 5 first, and then everything else is considered a port.
I mean, hey, all I'm saying is I'm playing the best version of it.
Yeah, that includes the PC version too. The PC version got like a botch release. Obviously, they're accusing the Xbox version to be in the Xbox One version. 'Cause I think when you pull the achievements, is achievements for the Xbox One version. And
oh yeah, I saw, dude. I hate when. So the one thing that I hate that like Xbox games have been doing recently is when you do like the game share, like when you share stuff from like the Twitter, like the automatic hashtags that are coming from the Xbox versions is like stupid. Like the Callisto Protocol, if you just click share and share now, it's literally like it'll pop up the Callisto Protocol Xbox One. I remember like there was another thing that happened with Plague's Tale came out. If you shared anything from a Plague's Tale, it said Plague's Tale Windows, even if you were playing from an Xbox.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
I don't know why they don't have like the hashtag. It's just
they don't just use Xbox Share. But it's built into the game. Like it's like
it's just built like it's already there.
Yeah,
like it's already says a Plague's Tale Record One Windows is like the automatic hashtag you get.
Yeah,
and then it'll say Xbox Share.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Shout out to Wizard23. He said, "Is that Thymesia on screen?" No, this is Steelrising. This is Thymesia's cool, but I think Steelrising is like the best like Soulsborne like game that's not made by From Software.
I got to the third boss in Thymesia and I dropped that shit.
Dude, all right. I'm gonna tell you about that. All right, so I watched you play that game. I remember your stream, right? And I was like, all right. And so when I finally got to play, because the Xbox did like the free play, and I was able to get a decent amount. I cleared the first level, but maybe you could explain this better to me, of how this thing works, because you clear the level and then there's these like alternate versions of the level, because I had to fight the main boss essentially like twice. It was another version of him in the whatchamacallit, like, all right, you got the first boss that kept, like, that I watched you play, and then after that area, like, I guess that area, you run from this, or you chase this giant thing that's creating all the fungus or whatever, and you kill that thing, even though it's not really much of a boss fight. It's like a running sequence, and then at the end of it, you fight the boss that the first boss again, but he's like kind of mutated or something. It's like a new form of him.
I just did I'm not too sure if I'm recalling what you're talking about. I just remember the second boss I hated, which was like the big vampire bat that would, like, you do damage to him and they'd go back into the ground and like suck up the blood.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any. So okay, because all right, because I'm assuming, because the way that it is like, I guess that would be essentially a new area. So I was trying to do all the sub, like the main area, and then the sub part that I guess that unlocks with the, I guess, as you beat levels or beat stages and get to the boss. So I never made it to the second main boss. I never
replayed the levels again. I just went from the one boss to the other. I'm pretty sure I never even did any of the stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That game was just
yeah. I mean, I see where, why, somebody, would like that game. Like, it's doing some things right, but I struggle with it, and I just, like, I didn't really mess with it too much. I was like, I'm gonna see what Steelrising is all about. So the thing is, all right, the Callisto Protocol obviously has been making the rounds because we've been waiting for like the Metacritic score, and I know you posted. I'm just saying in general. I'm talking about like general though. Like, I'm talking about the Twitter streets, the Twitter streets. We do that midnight lineup. You know what I mean? So
they sit there and they wait for it and they go, this game's shit, or they go, this game, and they don't ever play the game.
Yeah.
Fuck those dudes. That's all I say.
So, I think what is this? It was like it's like early 70s.
Yeah, I don't like. Last I looked at it, I think it was 76.
And
I have no idea where it's at now. It's probably dropped since then.
The common complaints are obviously performance, clunky controls, and then it's like cliches, like that they talk about. Obviously, the good things they say about it is the graphics and whatnot, and but it's more so that it's not, reinventing the wheel, and it's just more of a like an average experience at best, with some bugs. But go ahead.
So on PS5, it's at a 76 with 47 critic reviews. For PC, it's at an 80 with 6. And then the Xbox Series X version is at a 73 with 18 reviews.
Okay.
And I don't believe there is any. The one thing I've seen is nobody's posted any PS4 or original Xbox One footage. I'd like to see what it looks like. I've only seen people who playing on the Series X or there's a YouTuber who does like graphic analysis, but he doesn't speak English, so he just used instrument like music playing. That NG.
Yeah. He did a last gen version of them all, and
I bet that don't look good.
Yeah, they said it's just like. And it struggles obviously to hit 30 frames per second. And like on Xbox One, it's 30 struggling at 30 at 900p.
I'm sorry. We need to just drop last gen.
Yeah.
Just drop it, dude. We're going on year 3 here. We don't need to be putting games out for these platforms anymore, especially when you're getting such a terrible performance.
Yeah.
Like is anybody going to be really happy?
Yeah, at that point, it's like, yeah, what is it there for, right? If it's
like, dude, like if I was an Xbox One customer and I bought or a PS4 and I bought that game, dude, I'd fucking hate it. I'd be like, this is garbage. Why'd you give this to me? I'd rather not have it.
Yeah, that if you think about it, that messes up the quality really of the game, right? Because even though it's not the only version, but let's say the majority of players still are on like last gen, right? And you're playing that game, it kind of gives like an overall bad impression. Like for example, when Cyberpunk came out, right, it wasn't a bad game on PC, but because obviously consoles are more popular, right? You know, people were leaving out, going to the stores. You know, retail sales are primarily consoles, so they are playing a bad version. So overall, the game is just essentially like bad, even though like was just like a superior version that did exist. It didn't get obviously acknowledged and like stuff like that.
The main attraction.
Yeah,
like, nobody was when Cyberpunk came out, right? How great it looked on PC.
Yeah,
we were talking about how bad and how poor it ran on
console. Yeah, right. Yeah,
like nobody was talking about it on PC.
So like, I think so it's just like, and I remember back when Call of Duty, what was the last? It was like the last couple games that came out on like 360 during the Xbox One and PS4 era. Like there's these where they had literally completely stripped out like the campaign.
The first one that did that was Black Ops 3 was the one that did.
Yeah,
that was the last one, and it was a terrible multiplayer, and it was a zombies mode.
Yeah,
and dude, that game looked so fucking bad. Like I can't believe they put that shit.
And it was still full price, right?
Yeah, it was $60, man.
Still
it was like, what are you doing out here? Like, I get you're wanting to make a buck. Like, fuck, dude. Think of like the quality of your. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I shouldn't, associate Activision and the quality of their content. Like, but bro, I just look at that. I'm like, who the fuck wants that? Like, who really wants to sit there and say, yes, this is the best version of this game that I'm going to spend $60 for?
Yeah, it was yeah. So the thing is like obviously there's a lot of comparisons for the Callisto Protocol. PC's getting like a lot of, and they've responded to the PC version. But the thing is, there's some weird cues with like the Xbox version. A lot of people are masquerading about it. We know there's stories coming out. Like first before the comparisons came out, a article was published that Sony has 150 developers assisted with the game. And some, I guess, I forgot to what capacity. So, and people were like,
it wasn't even like they were developers of the game. They were doing the mocap and stuff, which they've done that for other stuff too, though.
Yeah.
Like they just did the mocap and then basically like the cutscenes and stuff they helped with. So I don't think that affects like the actual like overall game, right? Like to me, I think if somebody's like doing like mocap and stuff like that, like you're just contracted out to do that part. Anybody like any other studio that gets contracted out, they have a good way to do that, right? And they gave the and resources to be able to do it for them.
Yeah,
so like, I don't know if that do. I don't know. If that
I don't know if it, but I will say, hold up. Ghost in the Garage Gaming. What's up, Smooth? Sony guy here showing creators some love. $100. Shout out to you on a Joe. What the fuck?
We gotta get rid of this bot though. Get
the bot out of there. But like, shout out to Ghost in the Garage Gaming. He says, "What's up, Smooth? Sony guy here showing creators some love, man. What you did? Win the lotto and just dropping $100. Appreciate that, man. If this like, sheesh. Appreciate it. That's an automatic mod, man."
I'm gonna do you a favor here, though.
What's up?
Next time you play Modern Warfare 2, turn motion blur the fuck off.
Oh yeah. So I was I was just about to mention. I put the gameplay on there. I was like, all right, you can judge.
No, like honestly, for a multiplayer game, dude, you don't want that motion blur.
Why is it on by default though? Like what?
It's just their style, like what they want, dude. Like if you play Call of Duty, like a lot of us do, we always off. We never leave that shit on.
Oh man. Shout out to Ghost in the Garage Gaming. Ghost in the Garage Gaming, man. Appreciate it, man.
Do they have like a channel or something?
I don't know, but I just made him a mod.
He just paid $100 to be a mod.
He has a channel, yeah. 144 subs. I'm 145. Couple videos. Looks like Ghost of Tsushima vids I see here.
I threw a sub to him.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Yeah, dude. So all right. So Callisto Protocol, Xbox versus PlayStation, PC. PlayStation obviously they have a quality mode, 30 frames per second. I'm assuming 4K ray tracing, right? And then they have a performance mode, no ray tracing, graphics scale back a little bit, still looks good, 60 FPS, right? So the thing is, on the Xbox version, Series X, Series S, whatever. Series S, there's no performance mode. It's just whatever. It's just 30 frames per second. And
I don't even think it's hitting it's not even hitting a 4K. Too. I don't think it's at a 4K resolution.
And the Series X, they don't have ray tracing. They don't have ray trace reflections at least, and it struggles to output 30 frames per second, which doesn't make any sense at all. If ray tracing is not enabled and it's not hitting 30 frames per second in a quality mode, at that point you could have just not offered a quality mode and just kept its base mode to be 60 FPS, because that's ridiculous. But so a lot of people are using that to masquerade around like, oh, Xbox is taking a L and whatnot. Callisto Protocol developers have not addressed the discrepancies at all. They've only addressed like the PC, and that they're going to be sending out a patch and whatnot, because obviously PC players are speaking up. I've tweeted at Callisto twice on their comments about the PC and asking about the Xbox. I usually get responses for like certain games. I haven't gotten a response yet, or nobody has gotten a response yet. I'm hearing a patch went out this morning at like that was about 13 gigs. I'm not exactly sure. I downloaded the game last night. I haven't touched it, so I haven't even really experienced the game yet. No, I haven't even booted up. But I think once I found out I had it, I installed that in Midnight Sun, and
you're not gonna like Midnight Sun. I don't even know why you're trying to.
I did it because I was watching Addict play, and I was like, you know what? All right, let me. I know it's a RTS.
A card game.
Oh wait, it's a card game?
Yeah, it's a card game, dude. You ain't gonna play that shit. You know damn well you're gonna boot it up. You're gonna say this shit's ass. Put it down. I already know. Smooth, we've been on this podcast for 2 years. I think I know you.
Oh Lord, he said, "I know."
I know what fucking games you like, man. Like,
oh man,
that's why I wasn't even going to touch it. It's like XCOM with cards.
Yeah, and I'm bad at card games in real life.
It's from Firaxis or whatever the fuck. The guys that make XCOM, it's their game.
Oh,
so if you don't like a game
in
the style of XCOM, you're not gonna like Midnight.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the cover of Midnight Suns. I wish it was like whatchamacallit, Alliance, man.
You're not playing a cover though.
No, but look,
you're playing a game.
I wish
it just said I like the cover of it.
They really need to make it like another Marvel Alliance for like
make a cover simulator over here. Is that what we need?
I think they need to make a Marvel Alliance for like current gen consoles. Like that's what I really want.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I definitely believe I like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
And that's the one on the Switch, right?
Yeah, it was a good game. I liked it. Yeah.
How they get that game exclusive? I don't understand. I really don't understand.
Nintendo's like, hey, I'll give you money to make this game. And I think it was part because Activision, who made the original Marvel Ultimate Alliance, they lost all the Marvel.
Yeah, dude, bro. Do you think now? I know they probably don't have anything to do with this, but this Activision deal, when it goes through, you think? I already know what you're going to talk about, right? You're going to talk about the stupid little fucking flyer that everybody's been posting. When the Activision deal goes through, we're going to get all of these games. No, the fuck you're not. You're not going to get
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. You're not going to get the Transformers fucking games. They don't own the licensed games anymore. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to pay the money to get them back, if they can even.
Yeah.
Because you might have other license holders might already. So, like, people that's put all these fucking lists out there, like Skylanders, like to pad this list, you really? you want Skylanders in Game Pass? You got it. You know what the most important part of the Skylanders games were?
Those amiibos or the figures
that they don't sell anymore.
Yeah. Oh my god.
How are you gonna play a game without the fucking figures? That's what they're programmed for. They're not just gonna disable. Like, they can't disable it. That's what they programmed for. Was that fucking little portal with all the little figures? And these games aren't gonna come to Game Pass when the deal goes through. Your best bet is Call of Duty and the prototype games. That is your best bet.
Call of Duty and prototype games. No, I mean Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk.
Activision owns prototype. They own. Prototype.
They own. Yeah. That could be their infamous answer. Yeah. That's true. So pretty much Callisto Protocol better on PlayStation for some weird reason, poorly optimized for Xbox and PC. Need for Speed. I don't think Need for Speed is officially out, but if you own, like, I guess
No, Need for Speed is officially out. It came out officially Friday.
Right, for everybody.
If you had the Palace edition, you got that on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. All right. So the original release was Friday. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're on Xbox Game Pass or EA Play, whatever, you get access to 10-hour trial. I played a little bit of it. I was showing some earlier. I think it plays good, handles good. I'm not They have like a character creator. It's extremely limited.
They got like everybody looks like an anime character.
Yeah, anime character, and I think that are like inspired by like rappers and stuff like that, right? But like, there's 2 black characters, and then you got 2 different types of like hairstyles. It's just not a lot of like customization there. I know what they're gonna do is they're gonna they got a lot of currency pouring into like the brand clothes. That's what it's all gonna be about. Is like suiting up the clothes you wear, because they have like brands like Puma, I think Adidas, and some other brands that are there that you can unlock, or I assume buy, because they're not there. You can't just like throw a bunch of clothes on, off the outset. They give you some stock clothes, but like there's options for brands, and I'm assuming you get the currency, and you can buy better t-shirts, jackets, sneakers, glasses, and all that stuff. It plays good from what I played. I'm gonna definitely dive in, probably exhaust my 10 hours in it. People are saying it's one of the best Need for Speeds in a long time. I think it looks good. I think it's all right. I think the soundtrack is okay. The story arc they seem to be doing is like it's nothing new. But it's just like it's a Need for Speed that's going under the radar, right? This is the Need for Speed that's under marketed, kind of just released at an odd time, and it's like
it came out shortly after it was even announced.
Yeah. So it's one of those. It's like it's one of those. I guess under promise, over deliver, which is good. Yeah. It's just like usually when Need for Speed comes out, it's like a big deal, and it comes out and then it's like, this is mediocre, right? Whereas this one it wasn't a big deal, right? It comes out and it's like, oh, this is pretty good. Like, so, but yeah, definitely dive in a little bit more of that game. I think it looks good. Apparently that game's supposed to be running better on PlayStation. I'm not exactly sure why or how. Because it runs like a lock 60 on Xbox, on both Xbox consoles. It's above 1080p on the Series S, and it's at 4K on the Series X. Unless the PlayStation has it running at like 120 frames per second. I'm not exactly sure what makes that version better. But it seems to be like, I haven't detected any issues that I thought, and the load time seems like pretty much negated. There's no dramatic difference there, but we'll see. The John, I'm pretty sure John Linneman from Digital Foundry will find something that he prefers on PlayStation.
That's not a cross-gen game.
No, it's next gen. It's next gen only. Yep.
That's why I'm saying you got look, even the Series S, if it's got that a frame rate, that's why I'm saying we need to get rid of the Xbox One and PS4. Just need to get rid of them.
Yeah, the only thing is though, when they design games around the Xbox One and the PS4, it does a lot. The Series X and PS5 and stuff are allowed to like take advantage of them to like a certain degree. It's like, so for example, I don't know if you heard this, like when people said, all right, if God of War wasn't designed around the PS4, they believe it would be 30 frames per second on the PS5. If it was like designed exclusively around the PlayStation 5. They said the reason why you can have these, you know, higher frame rates and whatnot is because it is pretty much targeting PS4 Pro, and obviously convert that onto PlayStation. It's just taking further advantage of that material, because the game God of War looks good on PS4 base and PS4 Pro. It's like, it's not a dramatic difference. The biggest difference is the frame rate you're getting between the two. The game doesn't offer, like, obviously it doesn't offer ray tracing or anything like that. But knowing Sony, they can, I'm pretty sure they can do a post launch and add it in there. I'm trying to think, I want to know if there's another, I feel like there's another game that like came out. I'm gonna try to see what I recently played. You can probably hear my Xbox in the background, which I can't stand when it does that because it's playing through the OBS.
I can't hear anything, but
oh, Insurgency came into Game Pass. I don't like it. I uninstalled immediately.
What is it? Too
it's
realistic?
I don't know what it is, but
you got like that one bullet, dude. I liked Insurgency, but I bought it when it launched, right?
Yeah, you bought it. Yeah, I'm happy I didn't buy that. That was
well, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was good. It was a good change up from like the mod, the Call of Duty, the Battlefield.
Yeah.
Because and I like the which, I mean, they've ended up, Call of Duty has it too, but I like the proximity chat in Insurgency.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Closer to like the enemies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really like that, but they put that in Warzone, and having proximity chat in Warzone, it's a game changer for me because it's so funny. Like, sit there and talk to people, and just talk shit, and, like, ambush people, like we've. But I liked it. I thought it was interesting that it went to Game Pass, so I might have to boot up in it and see if it's got a bigger community going on now.
Yeah, that's what's up. Shout out to JetFan95. He says, smooth. There is a possibility they are in talks with Disney over Indiana Jones. In the Indiana Jones games, so Microsoft might be able to strike a deal with Disney and Marvel for back-compat games. Very possible. Shout out to Aaron. He says he's been playing Need for Speed Unbound. Hoping you like it, sir.
They already have one of the Indiana Jones games as backwards.
Yeah, the original. It's like for the original Xbox, right? I tried playing that shit, dude. I'm like, yeah.
That's the only like Indiana Jones game other than I think they did one before, didn't they?
Yeah, but isn't there one from the 360 era?
No, what are you talking about Nier for? I thought we were talking about Indiana Jones.
No. I said, wasn't there one for the 360 era?
The Lego Indiana Jones, that was it.
Oh yeah, but that's also backwards compatible. So that's there. So right now, right now Xbox has two. You can play two Indiana Jones.
I'm not too sure what games you're talking about unless you're talking about it was either PS4 or PS3. There was, I think, an Indiana Jones game for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So I know the original Xbox one. The original Xbox one that one's in Game Pass. Like, is it in Game? Yeah, Game Pass games with Gold. I know they gave it away for like games with Gold. That I know. Then there is obviously the Lego one that came out, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's like I always felt like Microsoft should like get involved into like the Disney Marvel scene with something, because it's like the fact that Nintendo's doing things, and obviously Sony's doing things.
It's called Indiana Jones and the Staff King.
The Staff, and which consoles does that come out?
PS3.
Is that a PS3 exclusive or is it?
Oh, hold on. What's it for? I don't know.
Because that would be like that would be nice to get.
What game is that for? It's a 2009, so yeah, it'd be PS3, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So they did do that one. Well, other than that, I don't know what game you'd be talking about. Oh, Indiana Jones, the Staff King, was also on Wii. It was also on the Wii. It was also on the PS2. Wait, did it come out on the PS2 in 2009? No,
Dude, you gotta think about it. The PS2 was getting games for a hot minute, dude. Like,
was it?
Yeah, PS2 was like legit. It was still getting games for a hot minute.
Oh, that was a PS2 game. What? Hold on. They had him doing it on PS3, right? Oh, he got a 5 out of 10 though from IGN.
Shout out to Jason Elliott. He said the only reason next gen isn't dropped is because they can't put out enough PlayStation 5s. You agree with that?
I think that the consoles are getting a healthier stock.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've saw,
dude, I walked into. So remember that? I don't know that picture.
Yeah, you had that picture. Yeah, yeah.
So that shelf, if you remember that picture, that shelf is now. They sold about half of those Series S's because I checked what I was looking at it.
Yep.
Callisto, because I got it from Best Buy. They sold about half of those that was lined up with that counter of Series S's, and there was a whole bunch of. They had a whole thing as Series X's stacked, but the only console I did not see was PS5s. But when God of War Ragnarok came out, right when I went to go pick up my copy, there was a shit ton of PS5s there at Best Buy. In store, they had carts full of them. So I know I've seen a lot more out in the wild now. I feel
they're commonly. I feel like they're commonly available now.
Yeah, even if they're not in store, PlayStation Direct's doing instant invites and stuff and posted all together a lot more than what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're finally getting to that point where they're not super hard to find any. If you wanted a PS5 today, you just do a couple Google searches and you'll have it. You'll have one.
All right,
so I don't. It's I don't know if I agree with that. And no matter what, eventually we gotta drop. It's just logistically. Are we expecting 2013 hardware to carry us for another 5 to 6 years? This shit ain't gonna last.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna last, man. You could always for Xbox, they have the cloud, technology, right? They could always do we make Xbox Series X and S only games. It's in Game Pass. And you can stream them via, xCloud on your Xbox One. That's all they can. That's what they should do. Just to make all those games native.
Red Dragon.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Wrap it up.
No, and then to still give Xbox One people stuff to play, just from the cloud, but then also make it so that these aren't last gen games that we're playing anymore. Especially since Xbox's big thing is pushing Game Pass.
Yeah.
They're not pushing game sales. So what the fuck does it matter to them whether they put a game out on Xbox One or if they put it in Game Pass and just put it you can get it on Xbox One in the cloud. That's why I say Xbox should definitely be at least doing that.
Yeah, Xbox have have more an incentive to not put out native Xbox One versions because they have the cloud option. Right now, you could play Flight Sim, the medium, Deathloop. Oh no, not Deathloop. Yeah, and Deathloop. Yeah.
No, you can play Deathloop.
Yeah,
you can even buy Deathloop on your Xbox One, but it says it's only available on cloud.
Yeah, which is pretty dope. I for the first time, so Xbox currently has a BOGO sale going on. I've never seen this on a digital storefront for consoles. I don't know if you have BOGO. Yeah.
What?
Right now it's right now at the moment is only with Ubisoft games though. You buy one, get one free. So you put 2 games in your cart, right? And it obviously it makes the other one free. But
you got 3 in your cart though, right?
No, buy one, get one.
Oh, buy one. Okay, buy one.
Yeah, so I've never seen that.
Especially in a digital storefront.
Storefront for the console. So that's that's new. So hopefully, like, so they can probably take better advantage on like Black Friday sales. Obviously, Black Friday's over, but like to see that on a console, I thought was pretty good because you usually never see that. That's something you have to go to like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, like and get that. But the fact that they're doing that digitally, I think that's pretty dope. So if anybody are interested, I mean, I have all the Ubisoft games that like I ever wanted to play. So it's like there's nothing that I really want to buy. Now, what I did notice is that all those games that for some reason, strangely, they're at full price. And they're at full price because of the obviously it's.
So are you really gonna deal?
Yeah.
Like you could have got Far Cry 6 at Best Buy for $9.99.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, if that's $60, that's not that good of a deal.
Yeah, so it's so I thought that was funny. I was like, okay, why are these games listed at like $59.99? Like,
it's an illusion. To
yeah. Now you're getting a deal, right? So I got 2 games for $60.
Well, Best Buy had that game for. That's why, like, because I picked up the PS4 copy of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
When that game was like $9.99, and then like the next day it was $30. Like shit like that's just like. But they still had it. They still said it was on sale, right? They're like, oh, it's from 60 to 30. It's like, but yesterday, $9.99. So what the hell?
So Serbia is another the antitrust regulators of Serbia have approved the Xbox Activision deal with no concessions. So that's the third approval. China just accepted the deal, I guess, in their second phase. So that's expected to go through. We're still getting reports. I know Red Dragon's tweeting a bunch of stuff. We're still hearing about mixed signals from the FTC. Which they're supposed to be making some sort of decision over the next week or two. Xbox is expected to offer PlayStation 10-year deal to the European Union as a part of the concession, and that maybe maybe the CMA. We'll see how that.
Is that 10-year deal? Is that also like marketing?
No. I just think it's just like a promise.
Just to be like a guarantee, like, hey, you'll have it.
Yeah, it's like a promise. Like, yeah, you're going to get the game as is. I think once Microsoft, because it doesn't incentivize them to continue those marketing type deals.
That's what I was like wondering if that's what it was.
But it's the more so it's to show that they're not going to foreclose them. Like the Call of Duty's never leaving PlayStation, but apparently, like these people don't understand that concept. But the thing is I think when considering Microsoft and their deal and their angle, it's like, okay, if Sony's truly worried about being foreclosed to the point they won't be able to compete, we're going to guarantee them 10 years. That 10 years is more than anybody would get. It's usually a lot more than what regulators would probably even mandate or ask for in a concession. And Sony denying it will just prove that it's just more so of a bad faith, like sort of like that they're arguing in bad faith at that point. And the thing is that even if, so Microsoft put that promise out there. My thing is that I don't know what incentive that the FTC or the European Union or whatever have to block the deal. What's the incentive, right? Because I'm not exactly sure like what's the push. Is like is Sony PlayStation like the holy grail of like gaming to the point where no one's allowed to compete with them at a serious level? Because it's like FTC's arguments, whatever, like their early arguments, it's not really making any sense. They mentioned something about Xbox, foreclosing future unannounced games. Of like, why would that be a problem? You know what I mean? It's like, why would that be a problem? If Sony buys a studio tomorrow, like I
don't even so future unannounced titles.
Yeah, it's like what?
That's like a weird one because what is Activision really know? Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I don't. Activision used to be back in the PC and PS3 era. They used to pump out so many different unique games that they were more than just Call of Duty. Now they're Call of Duty, Diablo, Warcraft, and Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like that's their force. So like I don't know what the unannounced titles would be. My thing, so I don't really care either way which way this goes. It's not going to affect me other than if they put Call of Duty in Game Pass, I just spend $70 less. But so part of me doesn't care really what side this goes. But then the other part of me kind of wants like it to go through only for the simple fact because then it would force PlayStation to make multiplayer games, and that's the one thing that I wish Sony would do.
Yeah.
Like if you remember like the PS3 era had so many good, unique multiplayer titles from like Killzone to Resistance to SOCOM to like Uncharted to then they went to the last of it. That generation of PlayStation had so many good multiplayer games that once the PS4 came out, they stopped doing it. And what sucks is that the PS4 was a massive console, right? Absolutely, 120 some million PS4s were out there, and yet they barely had any multiplayer games for that. And that just kind of like let me down. And so that's like the one thing that I'm like, if I don't care what either way it goes, but if it went to where Xbox gets it and 10, but like I said, you got 10 years of Call of Duty being guaranteed to you, but I would really like Sony to break out those creative juices, get them flowing, and like actually like make a good multiplayer game. They got Bungie.
Yeah.
They got Bungie. They got the studios that can do good multiplayer game that would bring people to their platform. 100%. You already got faithful elitists that would play every single game that you put out, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll sit there and play multiplayer game. They'll sit there and do it, but you got to put them out. And I think they can do good ones.
Yeah. Shout out to Jason Elliott. He says it's time to move. When's the next challenge, and what would you be willing to try? Once I get Lord willing, get rid of this hernia. I'll be willing to try probably. I don't know. Like, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything remotely challenging that I'm afraid of. Like, I'm willing to play Callisto on the hardest difficulty.
The challenge that we need to do though, that I want to play Returnal because I in co-op.
Returnal. I was not a fan of Returnal, and not because I think
I know, but you never beat it, right? But I said, like, what if we beat it together? What if we beat it together smoothly?
Yeah, as long as we can pick up where I'm at. I think I'm in Biome 3.
I think that's where I'm at too. I don't know.
Like
beating co-op together. Yeah, that's one game I want to beat, but dude, I can't. I need somebody else here when they announce that co-op. And I've yet to do it. And that was like last year.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big deal when they did the co-op. Did you see the leaked Game Awards reveals? I don't buy it because why was Returnal on the list? It just said Returnal. Like, what about it?
It didn't even say I didn't buy that list the second I saw it. I was like, why are people like the way? Why are they the way that they are? Well, why? What? I saw that list. I was like, none of that. Now, so I guess while we're here, and we did talk about the Game Awards. The Game Awards is less than a week away, guys. Right? We got less than a week away. First off, read your super chat, and then we'll get into it.
I read it.
You did?
Unless there was a new one.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. You did read that one. Sorry, I thought I saw one pop up. But so what is your Game Awards predictions? What do you think we're gonna see? Do you think?
Was another one. He said, "Okay, I got $200 to start the Callisto on maximum security difficulty challenge. $200, I can do that. Callisto Protocol is an 8-hour game. That's why it's more."
Yeah, but you haven't played it yet. So
I haven't played it yet, but all I have to...
Even on normal difficulty, you get your ass handed.
Isn't it a heavily melee game, right? Right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, if I do melee and dodge, which you gotta think about, I'm coming off of a Souls-like game, right? If I can just do melee and dodge, and then I'm pretty sure there's gonna be bosses where I'm required to use like a weapon, I'll just save up all my ammo for the boss. I think it's possible. The game, once I get over its jump scares, I think I'll be fine, right? I'll do that. I can definitely do that.
Oh damn!
All right, so you said what's gonna happen now? You're asking about the awards, or you asking about like what we're like?
Well, like, so like, what are, I mean, not necessarily like what are we gonna see? We're gonna. My thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I want if Xbox is gonna be there,
Mm-hmm.
I need release dates.
Yeah,
Like I'm tired.
absolutely.
Of, like,
I think we should.
I think for a given,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's gonna be 2 given release dates. I think Redfall will get a release date for. And I think Forza will get a release date for.
Okay, so you don't think
I don't think
Starfield?
I don't think no. I honestly, I don't have faith in the Starfield. I think if Starfield is going to come out at all next year, I think it's going to be at the end of the year. I think they're going to do November. Like if it does, because you got to think it's been 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
6 months since E3. They haven't shown a single fucking thing since. They haven't shown anything. There has been 0 new gameplay of that. Where we've gotten a little bit of more, like here, Redfall. I get the gist. The Redfall showing was honestly really good at E3, I think.
Yeah.
The showing that they did.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think that they needed to really prove anything. Other than that they have shown, some new gameplay and stuff. And
I think, all right, so a couple factors, right? I think, all right, so I know the Redfall gameplay and release date is a definite. We'll probably get like a standard arc, like your pretty much your launch sort of trailer. Like it probably might not, it's just like something to show us, what date, we're going to be playing a game. Okay. I think that happens. Forza, I mean, I'd like to see that happen. Matter of fact, the 3 headlining games, four headlining games of the Xbox Showcase last year, today we should get the, if you think about it, these games, all those games that we saw in the summer, all got to come out before the next summer showcase, right?
So, I mean, well, they did say tentative.
Tentative.
Right? There is an asterisk at the bottom of that.
All right, so I'll tell you this:
that they're planned to come out.
If Starfield does not show up at the Game Awards in any capacity, I was like, okay, this is a fall 2023 game. It misses the 12-month mark. So that leaves, okay, I think we see. All right, I'll tell you what I think, and I'll mix in what I hope to see. Forza, Redfall, only because they got to come out soon. So Xbox,
I'm thinking March, April.
Yeah, because they don't have no other showcases unless they're gonna start some new showcases. But since they don't have no other showcase till the summer, I got it. I mean, it would be best to get the dates there, right? Hellblade 2 or Avowed are the only.
You think they're gonna show Hellblade 2 again?
If it has a release window, if the game is confirmed for,
but they haven't shown anything in a whole year for Hellblade. You think that? I mean,
if it's coming out, do you think Hellblade is coming out in 2023?
Dude, I don't know. I literally I'm at the point where I have no faith in Xbox
releasing anything with all the studios.
And that's. I hate saying that, right? Because there's so many, but there's so hush of everything.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Hellblade in over a year.
Yep.
They haven't even really fucking talked about Hellblade. They've been silent about Starfield since E3 after its showing. Like, there's Redfall's the only thing that I kind of feels confident in. And then obviously Forza it's Forza, like.
Yeah.
Like Forza 7 came out in what
2017? Forza 7 has came out and already been delisted before the next Forza came out. So
yeah, that's been a long time since we had a Forza. So
yeah,
I would imagine like obviously Motorsport. We had Horizon.
Yeah,
we had 2 Forza Horizon games
before. Yeah.
Of having a regular Forza. Motorsport, and so I think. Those are going to be two guarantees, but I don't know about like anything else outside of that. Like, yeah, there's things I want. Like, I would love some type of showing of Fable.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were talking about Fable. We're 4 years into of having hints about Fable. Now, obviously, they officially announced it.
Yeah.
2020, I think, but they did say that, Playground was working on an RPG and stuff in 2018. So it's been 4 years.
Yeah, they've been working on that for a while. So so yeah, that is kind of crazy.
The fact that there's just like nothing, like is what gets me, is like, where the fuck is all this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I get, like, I mean, are they just solely, now mind you, I can't really, at least Xbox did have a showcase where Sony is like, we ain't showing shit because we're this whole entire Activision.
Yeah.
But I don't really think PlayStation needs to have a showcase. They constantly are releasing stuff, right? They're constantly putting games out there. They're constantly making moves to get third party deals and stuff. So like, they have a steady slew of content. Where Xbox, the only thing that I'm excited to play this year is High on Life, and that comes out here in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, High on Life. I am looking forward to that.
So like we do have that, and I think that looks kind of interesting and kind of good, for like a little bit of a different first person shooter with kind of the crazy world of Rick and Morty and your weapon like talking to you and stuff. I think. But like, that's like a whole like year of like me not being interested in any of your games whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Like, I wasn't there for Grounded. Pentiment, like,
Pentiment is like, it was a hard
Pentiment
pass for me.
Pens and cross, but like, I just know it's not. I know it's not something that I'm going to be like when it was like 20 to 30 hours to play that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and read stuff constantly. Like, I'm not like in that mood to play that.
Yeah.
So for Xbox having a whole entire year of stuff not interested in me at all, like, my expectations for them for any type of showcase is kind of low at this point, because they've been so consistent with not releasing stuff.
That's true. I think do you think we get Kojima's Xbox game? I think it's leaked a couple times.
I would think so. Like, here's the other thing. Like, I think Kojima, like, if Kojima's good with releasing stuff, so if they announced it, they could. Well, I don't know what he's hinting at, right? Because Kojima's been putting like a bunch of cryptid stuff, and I think we're gonna see Death Stranding 2 before we see anything from Xbox. I think he's gonna release a whole ass another game before we get the Xbox game.
You think?
Because they're already gearing, I believe, gearing up for the marketing push for Death Stranding. I think that's going to be one of the big things that we see, because you got to think it's been 3 years since Death Stranding released, and it only took him like 3 years to put Death Stranding out.
Yeah.
So like, we're in that phase, and he knows what he wants to do. And he's got like the team, he's got his crew to make whatever he wants. Like, I could see that being the big thing, like one of the big reveals at Game Awards is, because now that Kojima can be there, right? And it's going to be a big in-person event.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by the way, you got a heavy background noise going on, Smooth.
I had to mute my mic. My bad.
No, you're right. I was just letting you know in case it was coming through.
Yeah. No, I hope it's not coming through, but yeah, I gotta.
But I could see, especially with Jeff Keighley and Jeff Keighley having such a close. I could see him being there, and I could see Death Stranding 2 being a game that gets shown.
Yeah, I mean, I think
3 years since the first one.
If he's gonna be there, I think he shows what's that game supposedly called? Isn't it like breaking or like what? It's something. What the hell is that name?
Yeah, I'm blanking on it too.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
And you got to know about the dude.
Is it Overdrive or something?
Overdrive, yeah. But there's this dude.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's also a dude who works at Xbox who's also been tweeting that he's happy to announce that he's working on that game and I guess because they're getting like close to it, and he can confirm that he's working on the Kojima game. He's tweeted about it a couple times. So like, I don't know. I mean, we shall see. My thing is, I haven't been hyped. I don't like really get hyped for the Game Awards. I just let it be a surprise. Like, the thing is, I'm not I'm hoping obviously to see something new. Xbox has been coming to the show with at least 1 or 2 overdose. Yeah,
thank you, Mike.
Xbox has been coming to the showcase with at least 1 or 2 games, right? Like,
I mean, remember last year though they Crossfire X.
Yeah.
That was one of their, man. I've never been let down so bad by a game before in my entire life.
Yeah, man, I was.
That burnt me some way. I couldn't believe what we want.
And they were talking about that game for a couple of years too, man. Like,
bro, yeah, they talked about that game for years, and it came out. And that so not put together, and the single player is running off a different engine than the multiplayer. Multiplayer Spygate and this. Bro, that was such a fucking mess. I couldn't believe that. I was never so shocked by how botched the game.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that game released this year. Like,
it was the beginning of the year, man.
Yeah,
and like I was ready for it, man, because they knew how to show. They showed off that game, and the trailers looked really cool, and that was not it. That was not it, man.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Very bad move. Bad investment.
Right. So, I mean, but Logan is pretty much, I mean, we did this for what? Over 90 minutes, which I think is, yeah, we definitely hit some pointers. I'm gonna try to get some I don't know what game I'm gonna really try to dive into. I could dive into Callisto Protocol, but it looks like they got Jason's trying to get a challenge going. So if that's the case, I'll hold off until the challenge is ready. But man, it's been a good show. We held it down. Playing Xbox next week. I'll have an updated template. I was supposed to use it this week. It's a little bit more color, more green on the side.
All right, changing the template from the new one we already got.
No, it's still the same theme. So it's still the same thing, but it's just an improvement over what's already here. So like it's not venturing off from what we have. It's just some improvements being made. But yeah, man, we'll try to be here, same time or a little bit early. We're here. We were about like 45 minutes late. My bad. My apologies. I literally forgot that it was Saturday and then I moved my podcast to Saturdays.
So before we go,
yep.
I guess the one question we could ask, and then we will be able to discuss about it next week because the Game Awards will already happen and be done and over with and stuff like that. What do you think's taking home Game of the Year? What they have, right? So it's God of War, Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, and I believe it was Stray, right?
Yep.
That was the picks.
I'm gonna say Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yep. But I won't be surprised if God of War does it. It's just that I'm just trying to think. You got to think about it. The last two outside of It Takes Two. God of War and Elden Ring, Sekiro was the last game. Were the last 2 games to win Game of the Year, right? Outside of It Takes Two, so it was God of War 2018, Sekiro 2019, and they're both nominated for essentially the same type of games. I think Elden Ring had more commercial appeal. The Sekiro was more popular. It took off. It had a lot of impact. God of War, you got the whole thing with the whole recency thing. It scored high. It was better than the first. It's definitely Game of the Year material for sure. Historically, the best games that released in the first couple quarters of the year typically walked away with the Game of the Year. Elden Ring came out first. I'm going to say Elden Ring takes Game of the Year.
I'm gonna put God of War is gonna be my guess.
Okay.
So that we'll come back here in a week, and I mean, obviously we'll know before. we'll probably discuss the Game Awards next week.
Yeah, but definitely Game Awards is probably going to be the center of the show. We'll probably talk about picks, things we didn't like, how long the performances were.
Yeah, because they'll be showing. I mean, we'll also be able to talk about all the stuff that was announced.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'll be the more exciting part. But we'll see what's going on, man. That's only a couple of days. The next Thursday, so
yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching episode 129 Planet Xbox podcast. We will see you guys next Saturday, Lord willing, on episode 130, where we cover the video game awards. Shout out to Logan, one of the best co-hosts, best podcasters out here. One of the few game reviewing viewers I trust. So shout out to him. What you got going on?
Oh, I mean, I'm just finishing up that review for Evil, and then I'll be doing a video and a written review.
You clip out?
I'm clipping out.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on, let me check. I think I'm good now.
Okay.
But yeah, basically that's what I'm doing right now is focus on. And I'm still cutting out. Damn it. But yeah, I'm just trying to get that review out for level 1, so be on the lookout for that. The written review will be on the website, and then having a video review up on YouTube. Bro, my mic is just fucking up right now.
Yeah, dude. I'm like,
I don't know what I'm watching it, and it's like stopping.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. But anyways, that's what I got going on. I'm done. I'm done fucking with this mic.
Awesome, man. I'll probably have some videos out. I'm gonna try to beat a couple of games before I do my best games of the year, but I usually do that like during the Christmas break. So after I've kind of truly close out the year. Yeah, man. I'll try to put out some content between now and then. Work's been busy, but I try to get something out, whether it's impression videos, just opinionated videos, or something, just to try to commit to at least one video or 2 videos a week in between the podcast if I can. But hit the like button, hit the share button. We'll see you guys next week. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We are out of here. Peace.